Of course, this week very much in our minds has been the arrival of Andy Slack's Wallabies, an Australian party which is really in very confident mood after their pretty close series against New Zealand in the summer. And as they arrived at the Lensbury Club for their first training session, there was something of a happy reunion. The man who had missed the plane, Argentine Puma prop Enrique Rodriguez, was reunited with his teammates. And I think that'll be a pretty heavy fine at the team's first court session. Well, apart from 19 new faces amongst the players, there's a new and rather out-of-the-ordinary coach, Alan Jones, a former prime ministerial scriptwriter, a political figure, and one-time Oxford University coaching assistant, and a man who came from school and club rugby straight through to his new role in charge of the national senior side. And his experience began with that epic test series against New Zealand this summer.
I really felt that we could have won that series 3-0, but I'm not too sure at the end of the day that they felt that. They most probably thought, well, this guy's a bit of an enthusiast and we'll go along with him for a while. And then looking back, I think they really felt that they'd let the chance slip and they're not prepared to do that again. I think our tight five were adequate compared to what some people usually say is reputedly the best outfit in the world, and I think that's important psychologically from our team's point of view. And I suppose the other thing, the negative we learnt, was not to take our back line for granted. In a sense, I didn't have the time I'd like with them, and so we've done a lot more work here and at home on them just to get that a lot sharper. And I think if we put those together, plus the fact that the team feels it can deliver now and won't sort of play second fiddle to anybody, if you add those three elements together, I think we can stand the challenge, and it's a hell of a challenge that's in front of us.
It seems to be probably as tough an itinerary as any international touring team has ever taken on.
You don't get the breathing space that, say, the All Blacks get when they come to Australia, play a couple of good provincial teams, and the rest are cakewalks where you can really practice things. I mean, you can't take any game here for granted. And to that extent, I suppose it catches up sometimes with teams unless they're properly balanced. But we've come here in the belief that we're not too bad, but we really want to make sure that the scoreboard equals our expectations, so we've got to deliver the goods, and there'll be no excuses if we don't, even though it's most probably the most difficult tour that's been mounted for a visiting side.
And amongst the 11 returning Wallabies, one who played in all 4 tests of the last tour, the new captain, Andy Slack.
That's the Scottish 22. Philip Cox, along the line to Slack to Ella. Ella looping outside McLean. This is Brendan Moon. Moon gives it outside to Slack. Slack going for the corner. It's a try.
I suppose it would be fair to say, Andy, that in a way previous Wallabies tours, and notably the last one, were a case of unfulfilled promise.
Yeah, well, they were. We came away in 1981 having beaten New Zealand and France, and we're hoping to show the British and Irish teams that we were a great side, and we failed in the test matches. So hopefully that promise that we had then and we have again now will be fulfilled this time.
Do you think it's a better side this time?
I think it's better balanced. We had a few problems last time in certain areas, and those areas have been covered now, and the individual skills are very high, and I can't see many problems at all.
Who, in a way, are we going to be focusing our attention on, do you think, in the coming months?
Well, Australian teams have been noted for their back play, I think, over here in the past, and we've got one outstanding new back that British teams wouldn't have seen as David Campese. He's a very smart attacking player.
Gould, Campese with a chance. David Campese.
In the forwards, we've a couple of very tall locks now who, we've had a failure to produce those sort of people in the past. Bill Campbell and Stephen Cutler, and Steve Cutler played in the All Blacks and did very well.
Yeah, and of course pace, I suppose, is very much an element of the side, isn't it? I mean, you mentioned David Campese. Brendan Moon's no slouch either, is he?
No, Brendan's quick enough.
Brendan Moon.
We've also got some of the forwards who are very quick. Steve Tyneman, who captained the schoolboys here in 81, he's an extremely fast player, as are some of the other back rows, and all the backs have their share pace.
So what will you settle for in terms of test record? You're going for the Grand Slam, of course.
Oh, 4 out of 4 will do.
It's the new test hooker with the physique of a champion weightlifter at 17 stones, Tom Lawton. A new key line-out jumper, ranging 6 feet 8 inches in height. That's Steve Cutler. And of course the young and the old of it all as well. 37-year-old prop forward Stan Pilecki. I heard rumours about the fact that Lopez won the Olympic marathon at the same age as you. Gave you a bit of inspiration?
It does help to know that guys my age are still sticking out at sport. No, I just enjoy myself. It's a great team, great players, great people to be around, and it just makes it keep coming back.
Good to see you here again, of course, and by contrast, welcome with the international side for the first time, Matt Burke, the babe of the party, I think you are just about, and a great thrill ahead, I'm sure.
Oh yes, undoubtedly, yeah, it's going to be a really good tour.
Yeah. Did it come as a surprise to get the selection?
Well, it was a pleasant surprise, yes. I toured to Fiji with the Wallabies early in the year, so I thought I was a good chance, but I was never really sure of making the side.
What does it hold in store for you? You know, how do you look on it now before your first game even?
Well, I'm very nervous. The first game's at Twickenham. You know, it's the mecca of rugby in England. I haven't really played a top-class international game for Australia, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And 20-year-old Matt Burke would, of course, be too young to remember the great Wallaby days of the touring 1947-48 Australians of Bill McLean.
Later, all eyes were on Wyndon again, outpacing the field for yet another try, which Tonkin converted. Final score, 11 points to 0, and a crowning victory for a team with an unparalleled international record.
And what odds they might repeat that this time, those many years later. Certainly, I think, at this stage, wouldn't surprise me altogether.